Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Lady Blackistan, and I just wanted to hop on here real quick. Hopefully the video won't be too long, just to give you a quick story time. I had gotten a request from one of my subscribers to tell more of my stories of just about, the different experiences with my trauma, the different experiences with DV, that of me, myself, and that of, those close to me. And I definitely do want to continue to give those stories, but in a way that kind of shows like a buildup of how I got to my boiling point before I ultimately made my exit from Blackistan. And so, give me one second, y'all. My cat, she is always tripping. Sorry about that. So, so I wanted to start off with the buildup, because I say that I didn't realize or become privy to the idea of Blackistan. Of course, we didn't call it Blackistan, but just like how Black men were as a collective. Didn't really get privy to that stuff until I was into college and I became more aware of who I am as a person. Still growing, still learning, still, not enough life experiences under my belt to kind of, know better. But, as I'm older, I'm becoming more aware of, this energy that is amongst them as a collective. But as a kid, not so much, because I grew, please check out episode 1. I'll link it below as well. It kind of gives you like the introduction of where I'm coming from with my whole perspective of the whole divestment movement, based off of where I come from and my surroundings during childhood, right? So just to give you a quick rundown, basically, I am phenotypically Black, a light-skinned, phenotypically Black woman. You can tell there is something going on there to the point where people have asked me what I am, So phenotypically, I am Black. So, of course, I grew up in the Black community, which, if you don't know by now, the Black community from my perspective is Black women, because growing up, that's what the community was amongst the main community, which is the diverse community. The main community I grew up in was the diverse one. One of the sub communities, and the primary one that I related to the most, was of course the Black community, also known as Black women. The white boys I grew up with, we're acquainted with them, but they seem to be more drawn to white people, and when they dated white women. And you think nothing of that growing up in a diverse community. Of course, you still have that whole innocence as a child. And so I was completely unaware of the Black man pathology growing up, and quite frankly I had my blinders on, just simply based off of who I hung up around with. So I did want to give us, a story time about my first crush. My first crush growing up, who was in Blackistan, right? My first black boy who I had a crush on. So this young man I grew up with, I had known since I want to say the 3rd or 4th grade is when he finally came to our school. Basically I had started crushing on him probably maybe a year or two after that. All the way through high school, I had maintained the same crush on the same guy, and he definitely knew about it, right? And, there were definitely some times where he would use that to his advantage. For example, not taking notes or wanting to copy my schoolwork, and me with my dumb ass allowing that to happen, right? And that's typical, isn't it? Using your vulnerabilities and your weaknesses against you to get what you want. It starts very, very young, ladies. Very, very, very young. And so, I crushed on this dude for quite some time. He knew about it. And ultimately didn't go anywhere. right? You know, nothing ever happened. I didn't really date in high school until like my senior year, which more story time about that. Um, and so ultimately, nothing came of it. Um, and so it's so funny. You just never know where these dudes end up. Fast forward, I'm in college, right? I have a nice car, I have a job, I have financial aid, I am living my best life. I end up seeing my crush at a gas station, and I had a nice car, you know, I was only like 19 years old, y'all. 19 going on 20. Maybe even younger, 18 or 19, I would say. And you know what happened? I ran into him in a gas station. You know what he was doing? Begging me for money. This fool done turned into a beggar at a doggone gas station, y'all. And he freaked out when he realized who it was he was begging for cash. I had just so happened to be going to that old neck of the woods. I think I was going to my old job because the university wasn't too far away from the hood that was like around the corner from the suburban neighborhood that I grew up with. Like, even though I grew up in suburbia, there was still the hood, and so you know, somehow some way I was able to commingle with the other side, right? And I ultimately got my first job on the other side. And so I was going back to the old neck of the woods. I think I was going to go get some food at my first job. And I was on my way back to campus. And I saw him. I went to go get some gas. And I saw him. And he was begging for money. And was quite embarrassed to find out he was begging his, you know, the crush that he knew was the one, the girl he knew was crushing on him for years. So it just goes to show you, ladies, you never know where the dust will blow to. So that's all. That was like a kind of like the first sign that I experienced to avoid the dusty. But did I take the sign? Absolutely not. And you will hear more why in other story times. But anyways, that's all I got for y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you for listening. Bye.